Thanks for joining us back here on I Care, I Volunteer. I am still joined here in studio by our lovely guests. Now, before the break, we were talking a little bit about some challenges that our newcomers face when coming to Canada and the struggles of finding a place, right? So I want to know, both Chandra and Rochelle as well, did you guys face any challenges?
For me, because again, it's a matter of certification. I'm not certified in Canada, and my qualification, although I'm highly qualified when it comes to India, I'm not recognized here. So that's a big challenge. And the steps that takes me to where I want to reach, that's going to be a long journey for me. There are too many steps there. It's just not one particular exam. I have to go back to school and study the whole thing again. And I think at the end of it, I'll probably be given an opportunity to be a family physician,
Yeah.
whereas I'm a specialist in my own country. And I've got work experience of more than 20 years, but that's not recognized at all. I knew about this, that Canada is not going to recognize my qualification, but I thought, somewhere they will allow me to volunteer as a pathologist in a department which is relevant to me.
Yeah.
But that itself is extremely difficult. I mean, I can't go anywhere near a hospital to get a volunteering opportunity because that's a big challenge for me. It's not easy. Getting volunteering opportunity in a hospital or any healthcare setup is not easy at all. So that's one of the biggest challenges for me.
Yeah.
Right. For like many newcomers, employment was a big challenge for me. Initially, I came as an international student, so I only needed part-time employment, and that posed some challenge for me also to get a part-time employment. But through my networking and other volunteer work, I was able to remedy that problem, and then I was able to get other employments through those networks. Um, Through at Polyculture, we found many of our clients who may have that challenge also. So we have a very vibrant voluntary coordinator who gives person opportunity also to come and volunteer at our location so they can also gain experience there.
Yeah. Now, Sukhjit, how do you feel that volunteering helps establish someone's identity in Canada as a Canadian or a newcomer?
Very interesting question, and I'm lucky that you are asking me. What I am today is, and I keep on saying, and at many forums I have said this, that what I am today, as a Sukhjit, as a successful immigrant, it's because of volunteerism. And I have a very interesting story. I was very reluctant to listen to those who said, be a volunteer and think about it. Then there were two schools. One was saying yes, one thought process was saying do it, and other was saying don't do it for free. But then I eventually jumped into it, and thanks to Volunteer Embassy, through them I got a position at YMCA, and which was aligned with what my background was, which was facilitation. So I jumped in, and
Yep.
I learned a lot from one position, and then I jumped into the second one, and eventually I found real me. I found that what I really wanted to do. Though I come from a background, I have a computer science background, and I taught in a university before coming to Canada. But then I transformed all that into something which I could utilize more, and I could shine more, right? So that was through Volunteer Embassy. I got that exposure to volunteer work, and I did not stop there. I became volunteer ambassador with Volunteer Embassy. I'm still a volunteer ambassador, and I also got an opportunity to sit on their board from the newcomer perspective. I say I'm a settled newcomer. Now this is my 7th year in Canada, but as identity, because your confidence is low. You're lost in new city. You're lost in new country. You don't have friends. You don't have families. This is the best way to establish your network, to gain your confidence, to know about the new home, which you know, which now you are settled, which you know, now call home. That is through volunteer work, and it actually changed many lives. I know it personally. As ambassador, when I talk to people and when I promote volunteerism, I hear these stories again and again from them.
Perfect. So we've got lots more coming up right after the break here on Rogers TV on I Care, I Volunteer. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to I Care, I Volunteer. Our show is coming to a close in just a few short minutes. But I do want to ask you, what do you feel that organizations are looking for in newcomers that are coming to Canada?
Can I take that question?
Of course.
I'll tell you one thing. There is a lot a newcomer can offer to any organization, be it a non-profit or for-profit organization. The only difference is the organizations, they need to be more open towards accepting newcomers.
Of course.
And newcomers need to be more open going to these organizations. And here comes the big role of Volunteer MBC. And they do this by the excellent database they have is matching with the skill set. Because say for an example, we live in a multilingual country, but here in Peel we live in an area where there are more than 30 languages which are spoken. And organization can take advantage of those newcomers who speak those languages, right? Where they need some kind of help or they need some new ideas can be established. And because newcomers don't only bring money and themselves, they bring a lot of new ideas. And the research says that most of the entrepreneurs, they belong to the newcomer community. Those who are coming from different countries, uprooting themselves and calling Canada a new home, they become businessmen, businesswomen, and then they bring new ideas. So this is where organizations, they need to be more open towards accepting newcomers. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what advice would you guys give to any newcomer coming to the Peel region that might be interested in volunteering for any organization? Catherine?
Yeah, I would say, because what we told it's a very high challenge to be lost in kind of this big country. So I think stay positive, be very persistent, right? Try to be open-minded, try to, I don't know, get out of your comfort zone, I would say that. Still believe in yourself and what you bring here. You have all your expertise and knowledge, I'm pretty sure, so I had that. So you have to really make sure that you still have that here, this package, and believe in this, and that you can go forward with it. And then eventually in long term, so I said the challenge of being not a social worker right now, but eventually in 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So be persistent and take every step as a stepping stone for yourself.
Yeah. And Chandra, what about you?
Yeah, I think one has to accept being inclusive of the diverse community that is present here, and network with anybody, because you never know when an opportunity comes your way, something that you want. And to a certain extent, narrow down your requirements. Don't have a broad range of choices. Just narrow it down so that it's easier for the organizations to, find something suitable for your skills.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. Yeah.
What I would recommend to newcomers is get involved. Don't be afraid to take a new challenge. These experiences will help you not only professionally, but to enhance you as a person and to enhance your entire community. So get involved, don't be afraid, accept new challenges, commit to the tasks that you are facing and the tasks that you are given by these organizations.
And I think it's great that you guys are all saying to step outside of your comfort zone, because I think that coming from a different country and what you're used to doing, it's great to try something different that you may not have known. Like you said that earlier, you could find out that you could do something that you never thought that you could do, which is amazing. It's an amazing experience. It could open up so many new doors in a new country, right? All right, so I wanted to thank you guys so much for joining us here today, and I want to wish you all the best of luck in your volunteering experiences.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having
Thank you
us
so
here.
much.
And I hope you
Thank you.
find a place in your organizations, and hopefully social work is in the near future, and hopefully in the medical practice
Thank
and
you.
everything
Thank you
like
so
that.
much.
So stay tuned for next week's episode of I Care, I Volunteer. I'm your host, Taylor Lewis. Have a great night.